Hi, Halloween is just around the corner, so naturally I decided to ruin it for myself by finding the worst Halloween movie of all time. In my search, I came across the movie we'll be talking about today, Halloween Hero. Now, unlike other Halloween stories, which might have tales of witches, goblins, and ghosts, we have Halloween Hero, which has God, guns, and cops, who are apparently really bad at their jobs. I'm gonna start off by saying that this movie is hardly a movie at all. There was clearly no crew, no budget, it's just a family using their home camera to have a little fun and make their own home movies. I mean, all but 2 of the listed actors are actually in the same family. The Wright family, with our main protagonist Michael being played by David Wright. All that being said, this video is not intended to bully this family or make fun of them in any way. But David does wear an I stand for the flag shirt in this scene, and I'm just getting major, like, back the blue, Jesus loves America type vibes from these people. So yeah, I'm gonna have a little laugh. I'm gonna be a silly little goofy guy for a second and have a silly laugh at their silly little movie, okay? Our film opens with our protagonist Michael drinking heavily, looking at himself in the mirror and splashing water on his face, so, we know he's really going through it, and reminiscing on the fun times that he had with his wife. Like their classic laundry fights in extremely overexposed environments that lead to awkward walks off screen. Like we all do with our wives. The point is that Michael is clearly having a tough go. Such a tough go, in fact, that he plans to unalive himself on Halloween. You can tell this because he just writes death on the calendar, death with an exclamation point, just in case he forgets. There's also like a scribbled out version directly underneath it, like he made some kind of typo and had to scribble it out. This guy is getting very particular about like his suicidal calendar notifications being exactly correct. Later on, while making a nutritious meal of microwaved all beef hot dogs, Michael hears something strange outside and goes to investigate, only to find that a burglar has broken into his shed. And to be honest, I don't really know how to describe this. Just watch this.
Hey, get out of here!
You'll stop right there. Don't move.
What do you want? You want to shoot me? If you want to shoot me, just shoot me. Pull the trigger.
Forget you, man. Forget you. Who do you think you are? I have the gun. Forget you, man.
So, there's already so much to unpack here. First of all, we are over 5 minutes into the movie, and this is the first time anyone has spoken. There has been absolutely zero dialogue in this movie up until this point. Now, the first time I watched this movie, like, all the cuts in this scene are, like, so fast that I kind of found myself going, what's up with the burglar's face? Like, why is he just kind of, like, stuck making that same face? And it's, like, in a funny position. It's a mask. It's a mask. Is this racist? I don't know if... I'm gonna go ahead and guess that the actor that they had portraying the burglar was not a person of color in any capacity, and they clearly had someone else voice over the burglar's lines, and you can tell, which is why there's such a discrepancy in the audio quality between Michael and the burglar.
You're gonna do what I say, partner.
Shoot me then.
So, I don't know, man. I feel like this might be racist. I also really love that "forget you, man" line like the burglar keeps throwing out, because this is clearly supposed to be a very intense scene, like a man is getting his home robbed, so it's supposed to be a high intensity, like you man, I have a gun, you. But it's a Christian movie, so instead of saying you, they have to say forget you, and they also happen to get the least interested voiceover person in the world to do the lines, so instead of being like f you, it just comes out as like forget you, man, forget you. Now, when it comes to the voiceovers in this movie, and yes, this is not the only one, you'll notice that the quality is just absolutely horrible, and that's because oftentimes you'll have the actors on screen talking over like the dubbed dialogue because they didn't properly plan enough time for them to space it out.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, just take it and get out. You want to kill me?
I keep it real, and I will.
You want to kill me? Shoot me then.
Now, as we all know, Michael is already very depressed, so when he sees the burglar at this point, he's just like, take me out, just shoot me, go ahead, kill me. But instead, the burglar has him put his hands up and tells Michael to bring him into his house, which leads us to this interaction.
I'm gonna take your gun. You wanna kill me? Huh? You wanna kill me? Take the gun. Take it. Right here.
Man. I'm gonna leave. I'm
Pull
not gonna
it.
shoot you.
Pull
I'm
it.
gonna leave.
There's gun in the
I'm out of
gun.
here. Okay.
Get the
okay.
hell out of here.
That's right, Michael wrestles the gun out of the burglar's hand just to give it back to him and then demand that he shoot him. Now, this scares the burglar off, who runs away into the night. This scene, by the way, has pretty much no effect on the rest of the movie. It's literally only here to illustrate the fact that Michael is depressed and, no longer wants to be alive. Also, we are not even 10 minutes into this movie. Sorry, I just got so spooked, with it being Halloween and all. And you can tell it's Halloween because there's pumpkins. We can also tell it's Halloween because all of the dialogue between these two kids is muffled as hell because they're both wearing rubber masks.
Did you hear that? Uh-huh. Sounds like someone's behind us.
What? Like you guys had someone dub lines for the burglar and not these two kids? Also, what is this kid supposed to be? Just a guy? A bald man? Anyway, these children introduce us to our other protagonist, Rachel, and it is quite possibly the most awkward scene of the entire movie.
It'll be so fun. Hopefully she comes with us. Hi. Ah, it's a bat! It's a bat! It's a bat! It's gonna get you! Did I get you?
Yeah, that thing is made of rubber, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know these are kids and not professional actors, so I'm not going to roast them too hard, but come on. So the kids invite Rachel to go out trick-or-treating with them, but unfortunately she has to stay home and make dinner for her grandma, but she might be able to join them later. Back at his house, Michael is still contemplating self-delete. Does he really expect to do it like that? Just doesn't seem very effective. He's about to pull the trigger when there's a knock at the door. That's right, Rachel must be all done feeding Grandma because she's out on the town looking for some candy. So Michael answers the door and proceeds to hit her with a game of 21 questions.
Where's your costume?
We couldn't afford it. We're too poor.
Where's your bag?
Couldn't afford that either.
Who's your parents?
They're dead.
Who are you living with?
My grandma.
Where's your jacket?
I don't have one.
Michael tells Rachel that his dead wife has a jacket she can borrow, so he gives that to her along with some chocolate, naturally, as it's Halloween, and some money. Damn, Rachel really scored at this house. You can't be out here giving out apples in this neighborhood now. Not with Michael out here balling out, dropping fat stacks on all these kids. So Michael, taking pity on Rachel, tells her that if she never needs anything, she can stop by anytime, and sends her on her way. Now, once Michael is back inside, we see this.
Okay, Lord. Maybe you do still have a purpose for me.
Did this man just decide not to unalive himself because of one trick-or-treater?
Well, you got me another night. I'll wait one more night.
One more night? How does that make sense? Okay, Lord, I see because of this 3-minute interaction that I had with the trick-or-treater that you do have a purpose for me after all.
But you better show me more by tomorrow or I'm going to kill myself.
Mans is just emotionally manipulating God. Also, didn't he literally just tell Rachel to come by anytime if she needs anything? What if she comes back like 3 days later and finds your corpse, man? This girl's parents are already dead. Like, how much more do you want to traumatize her? As Michael goes back to drinking, Rachel is walking home alone and decides to take the longest amount of time humanly possible to put on a jacket. That was 20 seconds straight of her putting on a jacket, but also with that weird 1 second fade out in the middle for no reason. During her 6-hour struggle with her jacket, a stranger runs up and tries to kidnap her because apparently this movie takes place in Gotham City and crime rates are through the roof. Hearing her screams, Michael rushes out and starts beating the ever-loving shit out of the attacker. Now, with all of this well-choreographed, intense action, you might not have noticed that we haven't been able to get a good, clear shot on the attacker's face. And that's because it's another mask. And guess what? That's not even the last time this happens in this movie. So Michael is clearly incapacitated, this guy, at this point. The fight is basically over, right? Right? Michael? What are you doing, Michael? Michael? Oh, Did Michael just execute this guy in cold blood?
Next time, I'll put a bullet in your head.
Oh. What? He's just gonna leave this guy out there? As we find out later on in the movie, Michael himself is a retired cop, so you think he would know better than to, like, leave a potential kidnapper just out in the street for him to wander away? Just beat the shit out of this guy and then leave him in an alleyway? Don't turn him in or anything. That's fine. You're making the neighborhood a lot safer, Michael. While Michael washes the incredibly realistic blood off of his hands, we get to meet Rachel's grandma for the first time. Kind of.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to get you a costume this year. It's been hard with the price of my medications and my Social Security.
Okay, pop quiz. What's the first thing we noticed about this scene? If you said Grandma's lines are clearly being dubbed because there's not a snowball's chance in hell that that's actually a real old woman talking, then ding ding ding, you are correct. And do you know why that is? If you said it's because Grandma's our third and final character of this film to be wearing a mask because she's definitely not an old woman in real life, then you are correct again. Let's go. No, seriously, like, just look at all the ways that they try to hide that this is a mask. They even have this part where they, like, blur the bottom portion of the screen, but, like, only the bottom portion of the screen, like we weren't supposed to notice. Anyway, I'm gonna try not to play too much of the scene because the audio is just garbage. But basically we learn that Grandma is very poor. She has to pay for her medication. She's not getting a lot of money from Social Security. Rachel tells Grandma about how she almost got kidnapped. They reminisce about her dead parents. They're having a great time. So since we're getting some more exposition on Rachel and Grandma's story, I think it's about time we get a little bit more exposition on Michael's story. So now we get to see a memory of the last day that he ever saw his wife.
Honey, do you know where my belt keepers are?
You gonna wear your vest or what?
I'll be right back. It's just a quick canine sniff. Nothing serious.
I don't think that's how this works.
Well, here, don't forget your magazine. You're gonna need bullets.
Hey.
I might be retired now, but I got more years on than you. It's Halloween, you never know.
I want to get going so I can get back to you.
Well, at least take it with you. Throw it over top if you need to.
I don't think that's how any of this works. Now, I might be wrong. I don't know much about being a police officer because it's 12 over here, baby. But I don't think that she could just go on a quick canine sniff and just, like, come back in a couple of minutes. I don't think cops can just go on a quick call. Like, am I wrong? Doesn't she have to go on, like, a whole ass shift? Also, shouldn't she be wearing her bulletproof vest without her husband having to nag her for it? Don't they have to wear those? Am I crazy? Don't they have to wear those? And I get what they're trying to do. You know, they're trying to foreshadow all like, ooh, she didn't wear her vest. Oh no. But come on. Well, you kind of deserve that one. Oh, gee, I'm here. I'm patrolling the vicinity. Oh, shit. Gotta patrol the facility and not move at all. Just wave my hand along the horizon. I sure do hope that nobody is sneaking up behind me because my husband told me to wear my bulletproof vest and I didn't. But there's definitely nobody behind me. It's a good... Also, weren't you on a canine thing? Didn't you have a dog with you? Shouldn't your dog have been protecting you? What is happening in this movie? We are also only halfway through this movie. We cut to Rachel and Grandma having lunch. They're only having 1 apple and 1 roll because they are very poor, and this movie needs you to remember that. Grandma not only reveals that she only has until Friday to pay the rent that's owed, but also that she's dying.
I will take care of this. I just don't know how.
All we can do is pray.
I just have to keep trusting in the Lord.
So that's basically the gist of the conversation. Rachel and Grandma are kind of but as long as they pray, God's gonna take care of them. Afterwards, Rachel goes back to Michael's so they can have absolutely sparkling conversation like this.
Jacket keeping you warm?
Yeah, thanks. Where's your jacket?
I never get cold. Even in the winter, I wear these cut-off shirts. My wife used to cut the sleeves off for me. Well, it's only the beginning of fall, so it's not getting too cold.
Yeah.
Riveting. Rachel then tells Michael that her and Grandma are probably going to have to move soon, and Grandma is dying. This prompts Michael to tell her that even though God sometimes takes people that we don't want him to take, that ultimately God knows what's best, and it's ultimately his decision, and we just need to trust in him and believe that he's doing the right thing. Which is a pretty emotionally well put together thing for this guy to be saying when he's been spending the entire movie so far wanting to paint the walls with his brains. We love growth. We get a couple more shots of Michael missing his wife and drinking, Rachel praying, then she finally goes to his house to tell him that the time has come. Rent is due, Grandma couldn't pay it, so now they're getting evicted.
Don't worry, you two don't have to go to a shelter. I have a guest house in the back. There's 2 rooms. You won't be staying in here with me, okay?
This man has only met this little girl twice, and has never even met Grandma. Like, I get it's a nice gesture, but come on. So when Michael offers for Rachel and Grandma to move in with him, Rachel gets very excited and runs off, and we get this little sequence of events.
Hey, by the way, I'm Michael.
I'm Rachel,
Rachel, wow, that's my wife's name.
and my grandmother's Alice.
Okay, you go tell your grandma.
This is the first time in this entire movie that we learn literally any of the characters' names. We just learned 4 major characters' names with less than 20 minutes left to go in this movie. Also, they haven't even been formally introduced and they're gonna live together? What is going on with this movie? So, with Rachel and Grandma moving in, Michael decides to turn his life around. He throws out all his alcohol, puts his gun away in... Ah yes, the safest place to store a firearm in a house with a little girl. The kitchen drawer. We cut back to Rachel telling her grandma about Michael's offer for them to live with him, and we get this wonderfully creative shot of them trying to hide Grandma's face again.
What do you know about this man? What's his name?
This is a real movie. So after convincing Grandma, they move in with Michael. They take a look around their new digs. They play some life. They're having fun. They're having a good time. They get closer to Michael and form a real bond with him. Then we get a bunch of scenes that we absolutely do not need for any reason whatsoever. Like this one of Michael shaving his head. This goes on for another 10 seconds. Fast forward 1 year and Michael has adopted Rachel and Grandma is dead. We get a monologue from Michael talking to his dead wife, basically telling her about how he's going to care for Rachel and that it's helping him to fill the hole in his life that was left after she passed away. We get a monologue from Rachel talking about how she always trusted God, so everything worked out in the end. And then we get this final shot here.
That Halloween, God sent a hero to rescue me.
And to be honest, I unironically think that's a really nice way to wrap up the movie. Or at least it would have been. If that was the way it actually ended, what, you think that's the way Halloween Hero's gonna go out? That's the way you thought it ended, you stupid idiot? Well, it's not. This is how it ends instead.
Michael! There was a man outside in a car. He pulled up and he tried to sell me drugs. I told him I'd be right back. I just came to you. I didn't know what to do.
Wait here. I'll be back. Get out of the car. Now, because God has had mercy on me, I'm going to have mercy on you. And because God has forgiven me, I'm going to forgive you. But if
If I ever see you around this house again, because I'm weak, it's gonna be hard for me to forgive you a second time.
Yep. That's it. That's how it ends. And then we just get a silent credits scene. An entirely silent credits scene. That's right, Halloween Hero ends with the little girl being offered drugs, so really nothing in her life appears to have changed or gotten any better. Yay! Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed my first video. That was Halloween Hero, and I am Thomas Organ. If you're one of the 3 people still watching, thank you so much. Maybe hit that like button if you liked the video. I'm a YouTuber now, I can say that. And, hit the subscribe button. Keeping with the spooky theme, I do have another video coming out about a Christian horror film next week. So if that sounds interesting to you, maybe hit the subscribe button. It would be cool to have at least 1 sub by the time that video is out. Alright, thanks for watching guys. I will catch you later.